Good morning, it's almost Christmas. We've got just one more football weekend to go. That is, of course, this weekend. And we've got you covered to get you in the festive spirit even more over the next couple of hours ahead of kick-off later this afternoon. As I'm sure you're aware, Argyle are on the road this Saturday. They've got a chance to make it a very Merry Christmas for all of you in the Green Army. A win at Doncaster will be the first time they've won 3 games in a row this season, so let's hope they can pull it off. That's to come, but before that we have all of this coming up for you on The Breakfast Show. Argyle women play their final game of 2025 tomorrow at Home Park, and their head coach Marie Hourahan will be dropping in to talk through what's been an impressive first half of the season at 11:30. We've got loads of Christmassy content to get you in the festive spirit as we head into the last weekend before the big day, so keep your eyes peeled for that as well over the course of the show. And of course, as always, at the end of the programme we will have the return of Get the Badge In. That will be just before midday and you can see who is taking on the challenge this week. Plenty to get us going in the countdown to Christmas, in the countdown to kick-off as well. And in that Christmas spirit, to help me do that is none other than my little helper, Aaron Cusack.
So last week it was the little elf.
Little elf.
So they're all little.
I
play a little.
I think you're reading too much into that.
Good morning, Aaron. How are you?
Good morning.
Good.
Hey,
we're looking good. Mind you, I've just
these.
seen that Bin Pepple had the same top on, so I was told exclusively no one else would wear this. I think I'm in Bim's shadow because
he probably has worn that exact one.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it's got bigger shoulders than me. It feels a bit stretched, to be fair.
Mine is also a little bit big, but I keep doing this. It's like I'm like a JVC paid partnership for the Argyle jumpers, but I really like this.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's not the warmest in the studio as we have experienced as winter has come upon us. But these are lovely.
Yeah, they are nice.
The problem with this being a large is that my arms aren't. You can see I've really had to roll that up. Anyway, enough of the jumpers, as lovely as they are. How are you, and how are you feeling about this afternoon's game?
I'm very good, Erin, thank you. I'm optimistic about this afternoon because they found a little bit of resilience, especially on the road. Mm-hmm. You know, if you include the Virtue Trophy game, I think that's 3 wins on the road, all 1-0.
Yeah.
And if they win today, like you said, 3 wins in a row, but also it would be 3 away wins in a row as well.
So it would,
yeah, if they're able to win the game. So
double whammy.
Yeah, so absolutely. There seems to be a lot more positivity at the end of this week than there was perhaps at the end of a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And what's good, Erin, is in terms of points, they're closer to the kind of those mid-table teams.
Yeah.
So a couple of good victories over the Christmas period. And with results going their way, they could find themselves kind of mid-table.
Yeah. You'd like to think they're feeling a little bit buoyed after the last couple of games because, you know, with Christmas, of course, it also means a lot of football. The Christmas fixtures are always quite tightly packed together. So we've got this weekend, then we go into Boxing Day, and then we've got another midweek one after that. I think it's a double header with Reading and Wickham over the festive period. So it's a lot of games, and you want to be feeling optimistic about them if they're coming in such quick succession. We don't want to be in that headspace maybe we were in 2 weeks ago, for example. Yeah,
and they're going to have to manage the load of the players as well. So you can't just play the same 11, you know, for the next 10 days every game. So they're going to need to rotate. They need to manage, especially the older players. They probably will pick up a couple of knocks. It's inevitable when you've got such a heavy fixture congestion. So, but they've got to go into each game knowing that they can compete. And I think in the last month, if you take the last half an hour against Northampton away, they've competed really well in all the other games and winning the majority of them. So, you know, knowing that they're going into games now being harder to beat will give them the reassurance that they can get points from games. So this is a really telltale kind of section of the season, isn't it? If they can get through this unscathed, then, you know, they'll be okay.
Yeah, 1-0 at the minute seems to be our preferred method of winning. Do you think the clean sheet element is also really crucial in terms of the headspace that Argyle need to be in right now?
100%. You know, it's not you know, it's not unsurprising that if you keep clean sheets, the minimum you're going to get from a game is a point. Mm. So if you can know going into games that you're going to be difficult to concede against, then you've got every chance of getting at least a point, if not 3. And now we've got, Lauren Talai coming back today.
Yeah, of course.
So he's back in the squad.
You almost kind of get used to being without a player.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, so he's back.
Start to think, the possibilities. So that will be very
exciting.
exciting.
So he's fresh, and what's been nice is that they've had other goal scorers since now. So and of course you're going to go into the fixture knowing that you've got Owen Hussein, who scored the winner a couple of weeks ago at Wickham. Joe Rules scored last week, the winner against Rotherham. So now you've got Talai coming back into the fold. It's great. So now you've got renewed optimism, but you've also got that shared delivery of scoring goals.
Yeah, very exciting. We'll be covering that in more detail as well when Aaron does his analysis later on in the programme. To start Argyle Breakfast, though, this morning, we want to touch on those that are probably not as jovial as the rest of the country at this time of year. And that is because there are a lot of children spending the Christmas period in hospital. So every year, players and staff from Argyle, they spend the afternoon in the children's wards at Derriford Hospital to try and bring everyone a little bit of cheer. It happens every year, and you can see there it brings a lot of smiles to a lot of faces. It brings a smile to our face as well, and it's a small gesture that you can see goes a really long way to the children and the families and the staff involved.
Yeah, it's a little bit of respite for them as well, isn't it? It's fantastic, and just seeing their idols being able to go and meet them and say hi. And I know one of the little boys in that VT there, so Archie Kong. So I know Archie goes to school with my son. They're very good friends. So we're all wishing Archie a really Merry Christmas, and we want him to get well soon. So I know he's going through some difficulties at the minute. But Archie, if you're watching, Merry Christmas. We hope you get well soon. Yeah, so it's really lovely. It's really lovely. Fantastic.
I know, like we've seen videos like this before, and like you said, I think when you're in that space, especially over Christmas, it's quite all-consuming. There's a lot to think about. Parents as well, or be worried about their children. So I think just having a little moment to take a step back and I think forget about what is actively going on if you're not very well or your child is not very well, and actually just being able to see them enjoying spending some time removed from that, and just being, like you said, with these people who are, for a lot of the kids in Derriford Hospital, are going to be like their idols. They probably might not have had that one-on-one time with some of the players. You don't get that amount of time maybe at the sidelines on the pitch before or after a game. So it's nice that we've been able to allocate the time to make that happen and make them feel like they've been seen properly.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's essential for me, and the club will echo that. It's important that we've said in recent shows, Erin, that the club is very outward facing now. It reaches out to the community. It's no longer insular. It reaches out. It goes far and wide, and it brings opportunities like we've just seen to many people who deserve it. And we want to see children smiling and having fun, even though they're going through difficult periods at this time. We want to know that they're supported and they're thought of, and being able to spend time with their idols makes their world, doesn't it?
Yeah, very cool. Of course, that's just one example, I think, of we've talked about the community trust, we talked about Argyle as a whole. I mean, we went to the Argyle Open event a couple of weeks ago with the mince pies, trying to tackle loneliness a little bit. I think that wasn't focused specifically on children, of course, but it was fans just able to come and get together and have a mince pie. I can speak only for myself. I'm sure it wasn't that exciting for people that I was there, but from my perspective, just having the opportunity to actually go around and have a chat to people that you wouldn't normally do, and I think the players probably do feel, you know, the same. Their presence will have much more of an impact on people because of the, you know, just being able to see them out on the pitch. I think Brendan Galloway popped in for that one, if I remember rightly, before he headed off to AFCON. But yeah, just having those conversations with the fans and bridging that gap so it feels less like you know, footballers and fan scenario, and it's actually more like we're just one community, which I think it does very much feel like that here at Argyle.
Very much so. I think in the modernisation of, say, social media as well, I feel like the barrier between players on a football pitch and people sat in the crowd is almost removed.
Yeah.
So you feel that you feel a lot more integrated, and some of the great gestures that the club do here, where they offer opportunities like that, where people can get to know the person behind the player.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes their day, because some people unfortunately don't have reams of support networks around them, but just knowing that there are people there that want to get to know them and want to share stories with them and smile and have a laugh and a joke and a cup of tea, it's really heartfelt, and I think that's important, because whilst we know that football is the primary driver of this football club, it's important that the other aspects get heightened as well and highlighted.
Yeah, well, hopefully Argyle TV does that for you as well if you're watching. I think it's, you know, one of the brilliant parts of the breakfast show is that we try and make it a little bit more relaxed, a bit more casual sometimes again. So this is a bit like your insight into the club behind the scenes in a way. I mean, some of the guests that we've got on, actually being able to have the conversations with them in a more informal setting, a bit more of a relaxed setting where you get to find out a bit more information. Hopefully we'll get to do that with like Marie Hurahan, for example, later on this morning, because I think she'll be a great person to try and find a little bit more about. That's exactly what we want to be doing, and wanting to make the football club more accessible to everyone that takes the time to be a fan, to tune in and to watch, don't you think?
Absolutely. You know, this show, as we know, is informal, you know. It's just, we try to look at the jumpers we got on for a start, do you know what I mean? So it's great, and it helps us relax, because people are just people, and it shouldn't be too rigid. You know, this show for me is a great indicator of just real life, you know, whereby we speak to normal people who do great stuff behind the scenes that we don't always see. And that's important, you know, when we look at when we do the fans' journeys and things like that. You know, we had Charlie last week celebrating his 100th birthday.
Yeah, brilliant guy.
You know, and just a normal guy living in South Way. It was fantastic, and that's what the show's all about for me. And it's important that we remember that, because we're just humans working together for the same cause, you know.
So true, especially when in the context of Christmas as well. It's nice to remind ourselves of that. And it's not just Argyle as well, it's Plymouth as well. As another of our guests this morning will allude to, we, you know, cover wider areas beyond football as well, which is really important to shout about what's going on in your local community. We would also love to hear from you as well, wherever you are, because you might not be in Plymouth, and we know we've got fans that are all over the world, so do get in touch, especially in the run-up to Christmas. Send us a Christmas message. We would love to read it out, see where you're going to be spending the festive season, whether it be USA, Australia, Japan, just some of the countries that we know we've got fans in. We would love to hear from you. Do get in touch. I've got my phone by my side. I'm ready to check your messages. You can use the hashtag PAFC, or you can @ us at Argyle. While you're doing that, let's have a look at what we've got coming up for you on the rest of the show. As I mentioned, we're going to be keeping with the community theme. We're joined by Maria Judges from Babcock, who, along with the Argyle Community Trust, are off delivering food hampers to those in need over the holidays. And at 11:30, we're going to be joined by Marie Hurahan, Argyle Women's head coach, who's had a positive start so far.
Slight touch there to marker. Tynan! Yes! Well, he's at it again. Tommy Tynan.
Chance here for Hodges. Hodges gets it across, and there it is. Off the boot of Andy Thomas, his second goal of the night.
Byrne. Campbell inside, Hodges! Is it there? Yes it is! Kevin Hodges! Tynan! And Argyle thoroughly deserved that.
Yes! McCarthy, who'd had the first chance, has caused an explosion of joy at home park.
Are you ready? This is Fantasy EFL. Pick 7 players and 2 clubs from across the EFL. With rolling deadlines, make changes right up until each player plays. Set your team and accumulate points as the action unfolds. Every goal, every tackle, every save. Get one step closer to the top. Use your max captain chip to get double points for your best player. Go all in with a new One Club chip. Pick 7 players from one club. Get injury and suspension alerts. Every match counts and every pick is worth taking. Battle for real prizes, including a season ticket for the winner of each of our 72 clubs mini-leagues. Let the games begin. Play Fantasy EFL today.
Welcome back. We are approaching 20 past 10. 17 minutes past if you want the exact time. Thank you for joining us so far. Now, this is the time of year when the board games start to come out, I think it's fair to say. Maybe you're playing a bit of charades in the evening, getting the practice in ahead of Christmas Day. Well, at Argyle, as you know, we like to come up with games of our own, and we've come up with another one for some of the players to take part in. You can watch it right now. It's called Backwards Christmas Songs.
Hi, I'm Arabella Sutty.
Ben Pepple,
Caitlin Smith.
Matty Soranola, and today we'll be doing
backwards Christmas songs.
Play when ready.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
Last Christmas?
The very
Yes,
next
by
time it was
Wham.
called. The very next
Yes,
day,
it
you gave me
is.
easy one. I have zero clue.
And if you ever saw it, he would Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh my god. Rocking around the Christmas tree. Who's that by? Is that Brenda Lee? Silent Night.
I don't even know if I know this one.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Is that one? Is that one wrong?
I honestly have no clue.
What is that?
Nah, I don't know this. Nah, I don't know this.
It's the Nance generation. That Nance's generation.
It's not like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas or whatever it's called.
White Christmas. I'm sure you got White Christmas.
Oh, I would have so got that.
That's before now.
Yeah, I have no clue.
That one, I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. It is, I am dreaming of a white Christmas.
Oh, dreaming of a white Christmas. Oh,
It's not that song you were thinking of.
oh, it wasn't even the one I was singing.
No clue, mate. No clue.
Right, Sam, play number 4 again.
Oh my gosh! I know this! Have a holly jolly Christmas and the best time of the year. But she's messing up my lyrics. Have a holly jolly Christmas. Is it not holly jolly Christmas? It's the best time of the year. Oh my gosh! Deck the halls with the carney. Deck the halls? I knew it. I said deck the halls. I said it. Oh, but I don't know what it's called. The halls with the... Yes, I said that. I'm taking that.
Finn Pepper.
Oh, he's amazing. I love that man.
Where was he at the Christmas Carol concert?
He's class,
He should
yeah.
have been right
He's
up at the
electric, isn't
front.
he? He's
Yeah.
brilliant.
I feel like I need to siphon some of the
Yeah.
energy off him in
He's brilliant.
in that.
Yeah, he's such a character.
I have to say that was quite difficult.
I struggled.
Also scary in a way.
Yeah.
It felt like I was in an episode of Stranger Things, like listening to it all backwards. So you let us know how you got on if you were playing along at home. Like I said, it is quite tricky. I don't think I'd fare very well.
No, I think I got one.
Yeah. Because they do all sound quite similar.
Yeah,
I
they
can
do.
understand why
Yeah.
Bim was singing every single Christmas song that's
yeah.
ever existed in the
He
world.
sang everyone in the whole one court. It was like, oh, that one, I said that one.
That's the one I was talking about. There are actually another group of challengers as well that took part in that, so you can watch the full version over on Argyle TV on the website if you want to see how everyone got on. Pleased to say, well, I certainly didn't do it. I don't think you did either,
Not really.
did you?
I think I got one,
Yeah,
maybe.
no.
I'm not even convinced I did, to be honest.
No chance. I wonder, do we get many like Christmas songs that end up infiltrating the stands at this time of year in terms of like football chants?
I'm sure there are, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Like,
be able to say
They
any.
usually, they're quite universal.
Yeah.
Now I'm just having watched that, I'm wondering if we've got ones that we roll out just at a certain time of the year.
I wonder if there'll be one for Talai coming back and scoring goals. That'll
Yeah.
be something.
Because I'm conscious as well, like this is going to be our first home Boxing Day in a really long
yeah.
time. I think it's something crazy like 7 years or something like that. I might be under or overestimating, but it's a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time.
And it just makes me think, like, I wonder if we've got any Christmas songs that we could do a little bit of jiggery pokery with.
I don't know.
You want to come up with one on the spot right now?
Give me 30 seconds. I didn't even get any of them right. I
No,
didn't
yeah,
think of
that's
the real
very
one.
true. Somebody, I'm sure, will let us know as well. Send us a message because we'd love to hear from you about that. We spoke particularly about, like Bim having a really good time with that particular challenge. But I mean, it must be important for players to have a bit of fun at this time of year because it is Christmas, and I'm not saying this by any means in a like, oh, aren't they really hard done by? But there's a lot of games to fit in around also trying to be present for your family as well. So you do want to try and stay, some level of positivity on or off the pitch to, make your Christmas work and also make sure that your performance doesn't dip.
Oh, absolutely. And realistically, lots of the players aren't from around here.
No, exactly.
So lots of their families probably aren't here. Obviously, their immediate families would be if they've got children and wives and partners and whatnot. But so for them, they do it. We've heard previous players say it is the sacrifice. Whilst they love playing, on Boxing Day and that's a festive football kind of day, they have to take it steady on Christmas Day.
Do you have to train on Christmas Day if you're playing?
Some of them have done, yeah. They'll go and train early in the morning just to kind of get the fatigue out of their legs, and then they'll go home and rest and get ready for the next day. So they will train, and that's part and parcel of being a footballer. And you know, that is their job ultimately.
Exactly. Yeah.
They get plenty of time off in the summer, you know, so this is the time where they have to kind of dig in a little bit. But I think obviously the families will be really understanding and very proud that their dad's sons are professional footballers. And it just comes with the territory. But I think as well they have to have a little bit of joviality and you know, and relax and enjoy themselves.
I never actually put as much thought into it as what a Christmas day might look like if you're a footballer, because it's not going to be, you know, Bucks Fizz in the morning and however many glasses of mulled wine getting through the roast dinner.
It's like turmeric shots now, isn't it, to keep the joints nice and healthy? You know? Yeah,
because you've got to be ready to go Boxing Day.
They've got to be hydrated.
Yeah.
I suppose one of the biggest things would be the hydration issue, I'd have thought.
Yeah.
Because obviously they rest, but if they don't drink lots of water, that could impact the next day and what they eat as well, obviously.
And this is the thing, because I know, you know, a lot of people are very strict about their diets and making sure they're getting the right amount of protein and carbs and stuff. So I'm wondering where a Christmas dinner factors into that.
I'd love to have a conversation with the former Argyle players, the ones who played in the 70s and 80s, because I'm not convinced it would have been that strict.
No, I think that would have been like...
a few lagers and a roast would have been...
I think so,
just
followed by like 8 straight cups of tea. Because they've said before, haven't they, when we've had previous players come in at half-time, somebody would be doing like a tea round while they were... And I'm sure some people have been on the beers as well. But yeah, it must be a completely different ball game, quite literally, between then and now. But yeah, I mean, next time we get one of the players on, because it will be after Christmas.
Yeah, will be. We'll have to ask.
We'll have to ask them. Yeah. Somebody remind me, because now that's opened a whole new kettle of fish that I'm very interested in. Do get surprised. Do get in touch with us as well. I am still keeping my eyes on the comments on social media. I know, for example, Pieface is up at Doncaster away. He was at a petrol station this morning. Apparently we've sold over 1,000 tickets to our away fans for the game this afternoon. Block 9 podcast are having a watch along later on, and this is a nice one. DRFC away are saying, Argyle fans, you can join us at the Bellevue bar before and after the match. How nice. Take them up on it. I don't know if it's free or not, but find out. Right, let's see. We are racing through the show this morning, but we've still got loads more coming up for you. So let's have a quick reminder of what is yet to come on Argyle Breakfast. Taking a look at the ever so popular Christmas Cracker event at Manadon, which took place just last week. You can stay tuned to find out a little bit more about that. And in just a moment, Maria Judges from Babcock will be with us to explain about their partnership with Argyle to deliver Christmas hampers to people in the city.
Heartbroken for her, and just everybody did anything they could to get around her and show her we were going to support her the whole way through.
This desire, this hunger to achieve our goals, and if it's not just for themselves, it's definitely for Lulu.
When they are completely aligned with each other, what they can achieve.
Come on, 2-0 against
Come on,
Janners! Up the Janners! Man down!
Every single week, who's going to step forward and who's going to lead. Okay, so the leaders in the middle of the pitch today. Step forward, take control of the game. An exciting game where I think it'll be a real good exhibition of what the National League, Women's National League is.
They've definitely had the upper hand. We obviously look to change that if we can.
Playing the game in a completely different mindset and yeah, going there to get a win rather than to go for a scrap.
Touch there to marker. Tynan! Yes! Well, he's at it again. Tommy Tynan.
Chance here for Hodges. Hodges gets it across, and there it is. Off the boot of Andy Thomas, his second goal of the night.
Byrne. Campbell inside. Hodges! Is it there? Yes, it is! Kevin Hodges! Tynan! And Argyle
Hello, good morning. You're watching Argyle Breakfast with me, Erin Black and Aaron Cusack. Thank you for being with us so far. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself, and we've still got plenty more to come. We're going to start with our first guest in the studio this morning. For context, the Christmas period can be a challenging time of year for families facing food insecurity. Working alongside club partners and supporters, Argyle are providing 200 hampers to local families in need this Christmas. Our hampers provide Christmas classics such as fruit, veg and much more to ensure that everyone in need can enjoy the special time of year without the worry about it all being done. And that's with the support of local businesses and in conjunction with Babcock. Now, Maria Judges from Babcock is with us in the studio now. Good morning, Maria. How are you?
Yes, good, thank you.
Brilliant.
Very well,
Thank
thanks.
you for being here with us. We're gonna ask all our guests this morning to do a cracker now. Would you like to pull the Christmas cracker before your interview to relax you?
There's no getting out. You have to pull a cracker.
Or would you like to do it
at
the end?
Well, let's do it at the end to celebrate.
Perfect, brilliant, good. Thank you for taking time out of your Saturday morning to come and be with us, because this is such a brilliant initiative that we really wanted to talk about it. How did Babcock get involved in this Christmas hamper tradition that we're doing this year?
Sure. So it's part of our community connection partnership with Plymouth Argyle. So this is the third consecutive year that we've supported. We are quite a large employer in Plymouth, and we have a responsibility not just for our employees, but actually the impact we have in our local community as well. So it's a really important initiative for us to participate and contribute towards.
Yeah. So how long has this been going on for? Has it started recently, or has it been going on for a few years?
This is the third consecutive year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we've been doing it for a while now, and it's something that our employees give up their time to come and help out with as well.
Really?
So they come and we receive donations from lots of different places, and then some of our employees will come and pack up the hampers and organise all the food and spend a lot of time making sure that each hamper has lots of treats in it as well as the basics.
We're seeing some people on the screen there getting involved, wrapping presents. There's a lot of custard, and that looks like parsnips, possibly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so these are all like mixture of Babcock staff and volunteers then that are,
yes,
giving up their time to do it.
Yeah, it's everyone you speak to who's involved in it it's a really important part of what they do, and I think they see it as a little way of they're able to contribute to people that maybe find it a bit challenging at Christmas, like you've said. I think we all have so much pressure on us to make Christmas this really special, magical time.
Of course, yeah.
And I think this is a way that we can help take a little bit of that pressure off, like families that really are in need and want to make it special for their families. This is just our little way of sort of being able to help out.
Yeah, I suppose if you are able to help with some of the basics, for example, when it comes to Christmas, then it frees people of the stress to actually have the time to think about how can they make Christmas special rather than just keep going from day to day, I suppose is the way of looking at it. What are the kind of logistics then in getting, because it's 200 hampers, isn't
200
it?
hampers, yeah.
I mean, it helps Babcock as a logistical giant in that aspect, I guess.
So it happens over 3 days.
Right.
So yesterday was the day of organising, I think even just like setting up the boxes, what food have we got, what needs to go in every single box, and there's an army of people. And then the next couple of days are making sure that we load all of the boxes and that we've got a list of all the people. And then I think the third day is identifying all the different areas that we need to visit in Plymouth to deliver the packages in time for Christmas Day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you go about creating the connection with the people receiving the parcel or the hamper?
So we partner, and I think that this is where our sort of connections in the local community. This is we want to be really respectful during this time. So it's we partner with the charities that already have connections with those people. Yeah. So we do it, and we don't need to know that's happened with other people. So it's really important for us to do our bit, but obviously not be too much in there.
Yeah, you have the, I don't know what the word is for, almost like the partner agencies who are involved with those families, and you are just able to come in, provide, run all the logistics, get everything sorted, and go. This is for you.
And they'd be made aware, I assume. You know, they could opt in or out. There's an opportunity here if you so wish.
Absolutely.
And they can say yes, please, and then you know, you act on their behalf.
Despite there being a little bit of a bridge, for example, between yourselves and the people who are receiving the hampers, do you get to see what the reception is like from the people who receive them?
Yeah, so the people that are actually delivering the parcels, I think it's you know, they get to hand over the food packages, and so get that really sort of magic moment of being able to say, like, here you go, and this is for you, and enjoy your Christmas. And so it's such a valuable experience, and it's like I said, so people that do contribute and do give up their time, and it's a really rewarding experience for them to see that, like, the gratitude from people.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I found certainly as I'm getting older, what I really enjoy about Christmas is not getting the presents as much anymore. It's nice, but actually being able to give someone something, you know, if it's in your family, just something like you've thought of that, you know, oh, they'll really like that, and I put some time and effort into it. And in this instance of actually being able to give someone something that they need and are really grateful for is 10 times better than like getting something for yourself.
100%. It's like so special, isn't it, when you've really thought about something and you think, oh, I know that they're going to love this, or I know the impact it's going to have. Yeah, it's like really sort of like warming feeling inside. And that's what Christmas is about, isn't it? It's about making those magic moments and ensuring that people are able to have those magic moments as well.
I mean, we live in such a fast-paced world now, where everyone's kind of connected socially. It's I agree with both of you that the thought of, you know, someone receiving a gift, going, they've taken time to think about me and giving me something that they know I'd enjoy and like that's a real, like, commendable trait in it. I think that's important.
I think that's what's nice about hampers as well. It's not just the basics. There's some treats in there as well to make it a bit special. And there's Christmas puddings in there, and you saw the custard. And who doesn't like a bit of Christmas pudding on Christmas Day? So
I thought you were going to say, who doesn't like a bit of Christmas custard? It's a classic.
It's interesting.
And I suppose as well, one thing I'm interested, we've spoken about when the initiative started, and it's been, like you said, 3 consecutive years, but I think we maybe need to touch on as well the why the initiative started, because this is something that we've certainly spoken about before when we've done our Project 35 stuff, and it's because of the need that there is in the city, isn't there? And that is the sad part of this, because there has to be a reason behind doing this giving.
And I think we all know that Plymouth is one of the most deprived parts in the country, and I think when you are such a big employer, I think we employ about 11% of sort of the local population just in Babcock, and I know that, you know, Argyle has roots all across the city. I think we have a responsibility. So our responsibility is not just behind the walls in Devonport. Actually, it's a much wider, and the impact that we can have, especially with these sort of partnerships to that local community, is almost untold. And we're part of a really exciting initiative as well called Team Plymouth, because we recognise that actually we can only be successful if we ensure the rest of Plymouth is successful. And part of that is helping the parts of the community that might need a bit more. And another thing that we do in Babcock is every single employee has a paid day every single year that they can volunteer, so use for volunteering. So it's called our Be Kind Day, and we support lots of local charities, because we want our employees to feel that they can contribute, and that's part of our responsibility as a company to make that happen as well. So our responsibility is significant, and I think it's how we show up and what we do is so important.
Yeah. I think this goes back, Aaron, to what we were talking about just before you came in and sat with us, Maria. We were talking about the breakfast show here at Argyle, and, you know, talking about football and everything like that. But the club on a wider scale, the community element of it, and I think that ties back in with, yes, you know, there are links to the football club here, but it's actually about how can organisations like Babcock, how can clubs like Argyle go beyond what you might take at face value of you know the principles of the business or the football and making an impact on the city, because it's so important, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken previously when we've had other guests regarding projects, and they're our favourite topics, even though ultimately it's about a football club and a team playing football to try and get 3 points on a Saturday. These are the bits that we enjoy the most, because they're a lot further stretched, and this, you know, lots of projects like this happen behind the scenes. It's all in the shadows, and no one gets a chance to see much of it or hear much of it. And when you think about Babcock, I was there years and years ago. Essentially, it's a military compound to refit out, refit out like ships and submarines, you know. And then you're talking about, you know, hampers going out to the local community. It's a brilliant project. I really love the Be Kind gesture that they put into the work contracts.
It's so nice, and there's so many different projects that we're involved in, and some of the stories that you hear as well of employees where they've gone to do something and then they make sort of further connections with the charity, and so it's not just a day, it's the creating that initial sort of connection in the first place, and then what happens beyond, and it's great.
So could some of the staff use their Be Kind Day, for example, to help out with the hampers and do stuff like that?
Yeah,
brilliant.
Absolutely.
And what and I know we spoke about what the you know, how the families have reacted to receiving them, but speaking to like some of your colleagues that work at Babcock, having the opportunity to be able to volunteer, and because some people as well don't have time to volunteer, or they can't afford to spend the time to volunteer, so for them to be able to actually get a dedicated day where they can really lock in and help with that, what's the feedback been like from your colleagues?
Honestly, some of the stories that we have are it's brilliant, because what we try and do is collate a lot of the responses, because we want to actively encourage people to take this day. So we'll have lots of photos of where they've been helping out. Maybe it's just one I know where Age UK have got a couple of places in the city, and someone went and tidied up the garden for the residents of the setting there, and they were saying that they can go out and sit outside and enjoy the weather now. And we partner with the soup run as well, so that's something that our teams really love to get involved in. And like I said, like some of these are really sort of humbling experiences, but what it does is, it creates the opportunity for people, and it really, like I said, the day is great, and what we really like to see is what goes beyond that day, and
And we're obviously very grateful as well to have the partnership between, because you know Argyle and Babcock are two huge institutions in the city, so to be able to actually come together and maybe do something that you people wouldn't necessarily first come to mind.
No, absolutely not. Like you said, you know, we're a dockyard. We deal with warships and submarines, and when you say you partner with a football team, you're like, well, what's the connection?
Absolutely.
Hang on.
Delivering hampers, you know, it's lovely.
Great. We'll clear out a dock and have a football match in there.
So don't say that, because we often spitball ideas here on the breakfast show, so you'll be careful.
There we go. No, it's the impact you can have when two great kind of different big companies in Plymouth and come together in the impact that they can create. It's untold.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in to talk to us about it. Right, you've got to do the cracker.
Oh
yes,
Erin,
cracker.
you can pull it.
Shall I do it?
Yes, because you said off air, like, you really hope you win. I'm just saying.
No, that's not in the spirit.
Sorry, I'm just telling the truth.
Well, it's a spirit of giving. Like, if you win,
even if I, giving.
Inside she's like, yes, someone. Moral victory.
You get a hat. I don't actually think there's a gift in there. I'm sorry, but you do get a hat and a joke. The joke earlier that we did on our socials, which you can go and check out on the Argyle Instagram, I didn't think was that good. So do let us know if you've got a better joke.
Well, what was the joke we had? What was the
something about what
motorcycle does Santa ride? So
go on.
I mean, you could define good. Why did the turkey join a rock band?
I'm not even going to attempt to guess.
I don't know. Why did the turkey join?
It already had the drumsticks.
I think the delivery on that actually
was actually quite good.
Yes,
good pause.
Well, There you go.
What was it? Holly Davidson.
Holly, yeah. What motorbike does Santa ride? A Holly Davidson.
Oh,
that one was better.
That's better.
That's
Put that
better.
in your back pocket.
Good, keep that one.
You can trial that out later this afternoon. And the hat as well. Thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about the amazing work that you're doing. We really appreciate it, and I hope it all goes well.
Yeah.
And I hope you have a very happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You too. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right, we are 11:15, so almost through the first hour of Argyle Breakfast, but we've still got much more to come for you this morning. We'll have our latest attempt at Get the Badge In. It's Julio Pleguezuelo in the hot seat. He will be seeing what it's all about with his attempt at 11:45 this morning. And our special guest at 11:30 is the Argyle women's head coach, Marie Hourihan. She is a day out from the final game of an impressive 2025.
Touch there to marker. Tynan! Yes! Well, he's at it again. Tommy Tynan.
Chance here for Hodges. Hodges gets it across, and there it is. Off the boot of Andy Thomas, his second goal of the night.
Byrne. Campbell inside. Hodges! Is it there? Yes, it is! Kevin Hodges! Tynan! And Argyle thoroughly deserve that.
Yes! McCarthy, who'd had the first chance, has caused an explosion of joy at home park.
Are you ready? This is Fantasy EFL. Pick 7 players and 2 clubs from across the EFL. With rolling deadlines, make changes right up until each player plays. Set your team and accumulate points as the action unfolds. Every goal, every tackle, every save. Get one step closer to the top. Use your Max Captain chip to get double points for your best player. Go all in with a new One Club chip. Pick 7 players from one club. Get injury and suspension alerts. Every match counts and every pick is worth taking. Battle for real prizes, including a season ticket for the winner of each of our 72 clubs mini-leagues. Let the games begin. Play Fantasy EFL today.
Good morning. If you've just joined us, you're watching Argyle Breakfast, but you knew that already because how else did you get here? Thank you for being with us. We've still got loads more content to come for you. We come off air at 12 o'clock this afternoon. So just over an hour and 10 minutes of fun coming your way. We're going to dip back into the Christmas element of the breakfast show now. Some festive content with the players again. Argyle women, as you may have seen, have been having a really good season so far. They're impressing on the pitch with some stellar performances, but how do they fare when they turn their hand to decorating gingerbread? Well, let's find out.
I'm going to spend my ages trying to do this.
Ellie, please can I actually have that hat?
Rosh, you're shaking the table.
For no particular reason.
Toby, eat your words. I should be an engineer.
I can actually see all
Jazz,
3 of your
does it
cookies
matter
right
if
now.
we all look at it?
No,
It doesn't really matter.
No,
because you're going to steal my ideas and I've got really
agreed.
good ones.
I've got one really good idea. That'll do.
Rosh, sorry, shaking the table again.
Sorry. Which one's everyone going for first?
The wiggly one.
Yeah,
That's a good
same.
idea. Put them to the side.
Thank you.
Don't be stealing all my ideas, Machine. Don't you worry, the content after this is just going to be phenomenal.
From me.
What if I ran out of icing?
I was just thinking
Well,
that.
yeah.
You should have thought about that, shouldn't you?
Basically, Ali, I'm not thinking outside the box.
Really?
Yeah.
So she's not following the pattern then. Nice, you.
What does Marie say? Play the game, not the game.
The occasion, not the game. I'm pretty sure it's the occasion.
It's actually don't be
Play
a
the
sheep,
game,
be a
not
wolf.
the game.
That's what it is. Don't be a sheep, be a wolf.
I dare you say that next team talk. Guys, don't play the game, just play the game.
Just play it?
Well, I've ruined mine, so I don't even want to play anymore. Why are you looking?
I literally wasn't even looking.
He was.
No. That's one done. Don't look.
No, I was trying to figure out what's happening here.
Rosh got a bit hungry, so she's decided to go for a star.
No, let me have a, I'll help you out. Let me have a
no.
mouthful, please. Please, I'm hungry.
No, you'll sabotage.
I won't. I swear to you. Say swear.
Right.
No. Please, I
Sabotage
promise.
me.
I promise.
No.
I promise.
No.
Please, just
No.
let me have a nibble.
No.
You're not getting left home.
Sorry, I will.
It's okay, Rosh, you can come with me.
Thank you.
No, no.
Right. Oh, that's not very good.
Evie, what happened to you singing your favourite Christmas song?
Oh, okay. I got a little bit distracted because I was focusing quite a lot. But I'll sing Fairy Tale in New York.
And we will all join in.
Dun 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 dun. It was Christmas Eve, babe. In a drunk tank.
Oh wait, I actually think I know it.
She just told us what it is.
Won't see another one.
Have you only got one cookie as well?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe. Where are you guys?
Where are all
Well,
your
that means we
cookies?
immediately win.
Yeah, how have you done one cookie?
Time! Time!
Seems we've done the same thing.
Time!
Really?
That's incorrect behaviour.
I will go through this one. I just thought, what can I do with this? So I just did a very simple design, left it to the cookie. For this one, I decided to go for a Plymouth theme cookie. So I literally just wrote PAFC and added some Christmas balls.
No, you guys all copied me.
And then for my final one, I thought I'd actually go a bit crazy. And I decided to draw the Plymouth Argyle badge, which I don't think's been done by anybody. So
I just did this little star.
Oh, that's pretty.
boring.
And then, you know what, you should be grateful because you actually make a feature. This one, again, a little football down here and a PAFC, nice little writing at the top.
Oh.
And then I thought, how can I make this one look creative? Luckily, I'm a very creative person, and I kindly drew AB, Caitlin, and Rosh.
Oh, I love that! I love that!
Just like me. I went the same as Caitlin, but all
And
the
Lulu.
balls sort of fell off.
That looks a bit plain.
Yeah, but simplicity is good sometimes.
Not in this case.
PAFC. Anyway, that was my first
More
one.
is more.
I actually do quite like that. But
My second one, I just followed the design and then added a few baubles.
Really
Baubles?
cute, really
Is that
cute,
what it's
really
called?
cute.
So I am.
it's a shame that they're actually everywhere.
And then,
Simple and clean.
And then
I can see
second,
it.
no, this was my second one. I created a star,
It looks like
and underneath, on top of
blade.
it, I tried to do a tree, but at the end it got sabotaged. It looked a lot better than this before the sabotaging.
My hero, Marie Hurahan. Marie, if you're watching this. Next
I'm just
one,
a bit peppy.
obviously there's a little bit of a
I
theme,
can't stop eating it.
based again on
Oh!
This
Who's
one's
that?
Mazda's Army.
Right, there seems to be a theme.
There seems to
going
be
on.
like a lot of sucking up
Yeah,
going on.
yeah, there
Agreed.
is.
Marie,
If you're watching
fishing
this,
for
She wants to start the weekend.
Interesting. If you're
I
watching
see.
this, I would love to play in the 9. Thank you. So, background, Marie loves being called Mazda, for anyone that's watching. So that's Mazda's
She
Army,
actually drives a Mazda
which
car,
is
doesn't
us.
she?
No, she doesn't.
Oh.
And then
actually.
the third and final cookie just says Janice on it because
Oh,
it
nice
really
of
makes
you
you
to
feel
say.
at home. And while I was doing that, I was singing the Janice song.
So
What I
going
think
for-
we should take into consideration
What
is
is
the
this one?
effort that's
It's
been put in.
terrible.
Don't be sick.
Right, that's minus 29 points.
That's disqualification, that.
I don't think
I'm
You
just
know
going to
what,
take
Marie?
my cookie for safety.
Well, I may as well just eat mine.
So I win!
I thought the breakfast show was quite chaotic sometimes, but that's on a whole other
That is,
level.
isn't it? Yeah.
Wow.
That's the spin-off, that one.
That is, yeah, that is the I mean, I don't know where to begin.
No.
Maybe, I think probably maybe stick to endeavours on the pitch. Not that the gingerbread was bad necessarily per se, but like some of them I think was stretching the realms of creativity there.
Yeah. Bits of sabotage as well.
Bits of,
You can see the competitiveness in them, couldn't you?
Real sportsmanship does come out in, that competitiveness really does come out in different ways, doesn't it, in that regard. I'm interested by the Marie Hourihan ball. I thought was there supposed to be a pit, or was it just her name?
I think it was just her name, yeah.
Scrawled.
Yeah, just scrawled
in icing on a gingerbread bauble.
Two of the three as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Dedicated to Marie.
Yes,
someone wants to play in the starting 11.
Number 9. Yeah. Oh my God! What do you think you would do if you had the opportunity to do a gingerbread bauble? It would have to go here.
No, I can't say that. An ATEC logo, people are saying in my ear. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do ATEC or Exeter.
Sock.
Yes, maybe I'd do a sock. I'd do a Christmas ATEC stocking. That's what I would do. How's that?
Yeah.
That fits nice. A green one.
That would be, I suppose, Boxing Day's too. I don't know. Yeah. Somebody get the gingerbread back out again.
Absolutely.
Me and
Let's have a
Aaron
go.
could design one that can go stale
what
here
would you do?
over the Christmas period. That's a good. I don't think. Did anyone actually do a football?
Little one, yeah.
Yeah, I think just fully, all the hexagons all over it, not just a football.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to see Mark Edworthy do one.
Oh, I'd love to see.
I would love to get.
There are many of these.
We'd make that one pay-per-view, I reckon.
Yeah.
I think people would pay to watch that.
Wrap up the price. There are actually quite a lot of these challenges that I personally would pay to see Mark Edworthy do. I wonder if he's in. Boxing Day.
He'll be in over Christmas, I know. Yeah.
I wonder if we can get anything set up. Because imagine Mark Edworthy doing. Love you, Mark, by the way. Imagine Mark Edworthy doing the backwards Christmas songs as well.
He'll just say, "I don't know. I play in the Premier League." That's all he'll say.
Could it be? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
He's a legend.
That would be good. I'm just weighing up whether or not to ask Marie when she comes into the studio later on, because she is coming in. She's our second live guest this morning. Whether she actually does like being called Mazda.
There's only one way to find out.
I get the feeling it could be an elaborate setup. But I want to know the story behind it, if there is one.
Let's find out.
Okay.
Okay, you can ask.
Now that you've committed me to it, I can't back down because I need to show face. Okay, well, stay tuned for that. We'll see how that goes. But what is nice that we did mention on a slightly more serious note when we were watching it is seeing Lulu getting back stuck involved with the girls, because she's had a really tough time of it with her injury. Seemed to be taking it really well when we spoke to her last, because she was a guest on the breakfast show a while back. But yeah, really nice to seeing her get stuck in and involved with things. Yeah,
as always. I spoke to her the week before last, and she was up at Marjon, and she was doing some work on the anti-gravity treadmill. So she was kind of running, not full contact yet, but just getting that running mechanics back in. So she's making really good progress, which is excellent. Of course, we wanted to make a quick really recovery. Good.
Yeah, it'd be great to try and catch up with her again, find out how that's going, because we know injuries are part and parcel of the game, but what happened to Lulu was really serious, really bad injury, and I think the way that she's been handling it is super commendable, and just a brilliant player and a brilliant person. So hopefully we'll try and catch up with her a bit more. You can of course follow a lot of that on Making Waves, which is the documentary about Argyle women as well. And speaking of Argyle women, they are in action tomorrow, so don't forget about that. We'll obviously talk about their match in a bit more detail with Marie Hourihan later on. But the men, of course, play their final game before Christmas. Today, this afternoon, it's a game you can follow with us on Argyle TV. We'll be around for Matchday Live a bit later on from 2:30. And they're travelling to Doncaster this afternoon, looking to make it 3 wins in a row. And this is a place they haven't visited since 2022. Hopefully a bit more of that later. Before that, though, we'll be joined by Marie Horahan at 11:30 a.m. in the studio. That is a chat that I don't think you're going to want to miss. And just before midday, the latest edition of Get the Badge In with Julio Pleguezuelo. Don't go anywhere.
Heartbroken for her, and just everybody did anything they could to get around her and show her we were going to support her the whole way through.
This desire, this hunger to achieve our goals. And if it's not just for themselves, it's definitely for Lulu.
When they are completely aligned with each other, what they can achieve.
Come on, 2-0 against Come on the Janners! Up the Janners! Man down!
Every single week, who's going to step forward and who's going to lead. Okay, so the leaders in the middle of the pitch today. Step forward, take control of the game. An exciting game where I think it'll be a real good exhibition of what the National League, Women's National League is.
They've definitely had the upper hand. We obviously look to change that if we can.
Playing the game in a completely different mindset and yeah, going there to get a win rather than to go for a scrap.
Touch there to marker. Tynan! Yes! Well, he's at it again. Tommy Tynan.
Chance here for Hodges. Hodges gets it across, and there it is. Off the boot of Andy Thomas, his second goal of the night.
Byrne. Campbell inside. Hodges! Is it there? Yes, it is! Kevin Hodges! Tynan! And Argyle thoroughly deserved that.
Yes! McCarthy, who'd had the first chance, has caused an explosion of joy at home park.
All right, we're into the second hour of Argyle Breakfast for you this morning. We will have all of the build-up and the team news ahead of this afternoon's game against Doncaster Rovers for you over on Matchday Live. You can stream that on YouTube for free from 2:30 this afternoon, and don't forget to grab your match passes for the game as well over on pafc.co.uk. We've got audio and video for certain international viewers too. Speaking of, well, international-ish viewers, I do need to do a shout out to James Brenton, who says Merry Christmas from Alderney to everyone at Argyle Breakfast. That's me and you, Aaron, both tagged.
Thank you, James.
Keep up the great work.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, take that. Thank you very much, James. And a happy Christmas to you as well. I hope you can join us later on for Matchday Live and all of the action on the game. Back to bit more Christmassy stuff. You can sense there's a theme here. I wonder why. It's because earlier this week, the entire Argyle squad spent the evening coaching some lucky budding footballers in the club's annual Christmas Cracker event, and this is how it went.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic being down here again. Like I said, we come here every year, and it's something that we look forward to as players because it's great to see the excitement on the kids' faces and things like that. So we know it's special for them, but it's also really enjoyable for us to be a part of it. And so like I said, join in and have a bit of fun out there. Like I said, I'm a bit tired now because I probably took it too serious, but no, it's fantastic. And then coming here now and trying to do stuff is brilliant. Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. It's something that I like to do as much as I can, really. Like I said, the community for Argyle's massive. We know how close a bond we have with everyone here, so little things like this and other stuff that we do is great, really. And like I said, you see how happy it is for the kids.
Another great experience for some of the kids in our community. We've seen the players heading off to Derriford Hospital and now getting involved in the Christmas Cracker event as well. And again, nice to see them engaged and wanting to get stuck in and making that difference to young kids who really look up to them.
Absolutely, yeah. They're always great events. They're always really well populated. There's hundreds of kids there, and rightly so. And they join in, don't they? That's the idea of it. You know, you get up close and personal with your stars and your idols, and you get your signature and the signed shirts and the pictures, and it's all about that togetherness, and that should be. And it's brilliant this time of year, because obviously I also like football sessions that are under lights. So when it was looked like it was the weather was fairly kind, and you know, it was under the lights, and that
like the one kind
the one
day
kind
we've had
day we've had. I think it was maybe Tuesday. It's great, you know, and they get to rub shoulders and play in the little kick arounds with their idols. So brilliant.
Obviously, we know it's the nature of the events themselves. You've got loads of kids there. You've got a handful of players there. It's not going to be a proper coaching session, as it were. But how much of a difference do you think it makes to those budding young footballers to actually say that they've had a moment where, you know, their favourite footballer or, you know, a footballer from their local team has come along and has actually seen them play, or maybe given them a little bit of advice or spoken to them?
I think that there, Erin, the fact that they would have spoken to them means everything to them. Like, wow, like, you know, Joe Edwards spoke to me or told me to go and stand there, or try and hit the ball this way.
Yeah.
Just little bits that they'll take with them. They'd have told all their friends, all their family, their mums and dads, and, you know, it would have made their Christmas probably, amongst other things. So I think, you know, just being with them, I think just really heightens their it sensationalizes it for them. It just puts them even more in awe of them, you know. It
shows as well, I think, how good the club are getting at running these community events, because that line of autographs at the end of all the kids, it's like a military operation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like boom, boom, boom. Like they know how to get it done. And again, everyone in that scenario would have then had a little bit of FaceTime with various players, but, you know, surely probably one of their favourite players as well at some point during that. And I just don't think you can quite put into words what that means as a kid. Like, it is really special. Like, when I was like 10, I managed to get in the programme. Made my life.
There you go.
And look at me now.
Still talking about it, you know? Absolutely.
And I honestly, I dine out on that. I think my dad still got the programme in the loft or something somewhere, but like, I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
You know?
And it was like a picture of me that was like, you know, this big in the corner in the middle of it. But yeah, for those kids to be able to go into school, I guess after the Christmas holidays, and go, oh, here's my autograph with Laurent-Talai, or here is, he said, like you said, he said this to me, or he said, it just makes such a huge difference.
Oh, and also what you got to remember is those footballers were once those children.
Yes.
So that was them, you know, 12 years ago.
Well, maybe
you know?
we 12 years ago. No, you can't say things like 12. Oh God, yeah, because some of them.
Some are only 20, aren't they?
Really?
So I was kind of right, you know. But maybe, you know, 15 years ago.
Oh my God, that's so depressing. We're supposed to be in an optimistic mood. Christmas, stop reminding
me. Hey, listen, I've got a few years on you, so I'm,
you're fine. That's true. I can take solace in that at least. Okay, I've completely the fact that so many people in the world are younger than me has completely made me lose my train of thought. That was it. yes, they were young aspiring footballers one day, but we may well have seen the next big Argyle star.
We may well have done.
In that
yeah,
video.
Absolutely. And it's vitally important that they give them a memorable experience, because if it's a negative one, they'll also never forget it. So if they had a setback, if someone was rude, or no, they wouldn't have happened, of course. But that's why I love the fact that the players want to give back, and they do it with a smile on their face, and they're really engaging with those young kids, because it makes their world. And just giving up your time for 30 seconds means a lifetime of memories for that person, and that's vital, because if you're on a receiving end of a negative piece, they will also never forget that. And that's
a really
vital.
Good point, actually, because I know you work a lot around performance cultures and areas like that, so that will it's interesting to think about the deeper effects of an experience like that, and could it be as simple as one of the footballers saying something positive and good, but for them it might just be a throwaway comment about positioning or something like that they just think is useful to say, but to that kid that could be the motivator to progress them into
absolutely. Because that piece of information could be something that they really run with and take hold of, and they go, right, I'm going to do that, I'm going to try it all the time. And it could have just been a fairly obvious statement that the player has made, because they understand the game a bit better than the younger players at this time, but that player takes that piece of it, that young child takes that piece of information on and runs with it, and you don't know what you say, the impact it can have, both more positive than negative, but also on a negative side as well. Like the stuff we were talking about earlier about culture, we talk about in our education setting about tonality. So the way in which you say something has probably a bigger effect than what you actually say. So the tone of your voice, so and the way in which you use your non-verbal cues as well. So it all adds up.
Seen to be engaged,
absolutely,
with rather than having a bit of disinterest about it.
Yeah.
God, that's so interesting. Yeah.
We need to spin off. We'll talk more.
Yeah. I need to work on maybe I can work on my tonality. I don't think we've got time.
Those opening gags about me, you know what I mean? I'm fine with them at the minute.
Oh my God.
You know?
I've been instilling a toxic performance culture in the Argyle. This is all Charlie's
What time do we finish?
Oh my God. Imagine we just had to come off air because I've been creating a toxic atmosphere in the studio. God, I'm really sorry, Aaron.
Don't worry, Charlie wrote it. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't blame me. It's Charlie out there. Let's bring him in, actually. Bring
interrogate
him in.
him.
Right now. Get him on the sofa.
Spotlight like that.
No, this is turning into
no,
a vicious
sorry, let's
circle.
go. It's Christmas,
Positive
isn't it?
only. It's Christmas. No, I'm glad that we touched on that element of it, because it's like I think this morning's breakfast show has really pinned into the community aspects of Argyle and the importance of what we do, and I think that point as well is very much it's not just about lip service, it's not just about doing things, it's about doing them meaningfully. And I think that comes into what Maria was saying earlier about the reward that people get from having these interactions, not just giving, but the actual interactions, the social elements that come off the back of that. And I think, yes, when we look at like that video there of the kids getting stuck in, it's not just about oh yeah, you got your autograph signed by a player. It's like, how can we make these interactions meaningful?
Yes.
Because that's what the club is about.
Yes, it's about not just telling people what you know, is showing them how much you care.
Yeah.
And if you can get them to really, show that you care about that moment in time with that person, it'll go such a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, we also very much care on Argyle Breakfast, so if you do have a message you would like us to read out, do get in touch. We've just had the one from James Brenton, of course, and again, thank you, James, for getting in touch, and a happy Christmas to you. Anyone else, you can use the hashtag PAFC or @us@Argyle. Those are the best ways to do it. Or if you're part of Argyle USA, for example, I'm in the big WhatsApp chat, so you can just send us a message. We'll probably be reading some of those out a little bit later on this afternoon because of the time difference. I think it's still the middle of the night over there, but nonetheless, very happy to have you wherever in the world you are. Thank you for being with us. And we've got bang on 45 minutes of Argyle Breakfast still to come for you. So now's a good time to see what else we've got coming up. First of all, Julio Pleguezuelo putting his pride on the line to take the badge in. That will be right towards the end of the programme, just before 12. Can he beat Zach Baker? We'll have to see. And in 15 minutes, we'll be joined by Marie Hourahan ahead of Argyle Women's final game of 2025 tomorrow.
Slight touch there to marker. Tynan! Yes! Well, he's at it again. Tommy Tynan.
Chance here for Hodges. Hodges gets it across, and there it is. Off the boot of Andy Thomas, his second goal of the night.
Byrne. Campbell inside. Hodges! Is it there? Yes, it is! Kevin Hodges! Tynan! And Argyle thoroughly deserve that.
Yes! McCarthy, who'd had the first chance, has caused an explosion of joy at home park.
Are you ready? This is Fantasy EFL. Pick 7 players and 2 clubs from across the EFL. With rolling deadlines, make changes right up until each player plays. Set your team and accumulate points as the action unfolds. Every goal, every tackle, every save. Get one step closer to the top. Use your Max Captain chip to get double points for your best player. Go all in with a new One Club chip. Pick 7 players from one club. Get injury and suspension alerts. Every match counts and every pick is worth taking. Battle for real prizes, including a season ticket for the winner of each of our 72 clubs mini-leagues. Let the games begin. Play Fantasy EFL today.
Welcome back. You're watching Argyle Breakfast with me, Erin Black and Aaron Cusack. Let's get an insight into this afternoon's game now. It's that time of the morning. Argyle have strung together back-to-back wins for the first time in 3 months. And today they go in search of a third win, which crucially would get them out of the bottom 4 in the league. This afternoon they are up against a Doncaster side who came up last season and began this year very strongly, but they've only won 1 of their last 13 league games. So sounds quite promising when you say it like that. Tom Cleverley will be talking to us in a moment, but first of all, here is Grant McCann.
To Plymouth right now, I think everybody, if we're chatting in July about Plymouth, we wouldn't have thought that they would be where they are. So what's your kind of assessment as to where they're at currently then, and the opposition you'll face?
Well, firstly, it's not really for me to speak about Plymouth. What we'll do is we'll obviously we've analysed them again all week. We'll put a plan in place that we think we can go and hopefully win the game. It's a team, another team that's came down from the Championship. So they've got good players, like all the teams that's come down from the Championship and been in around that top end of League One. They've all got good players. So, but ultimately, really, it's about us, Andy. Again, I think we have to make sure that we get our game plan right. Be with that fearless sort of attacking swagger that we showed at Cardiff, something we missed against Stockport. And it's trying to get the balance of that now, isn't it? Of those 2 games of showing a wee bit more of an attacking intent, but let's see if we can be better defensively and more stronger, organised without the ball, and give ourselves the best chance to win.
Because there's still the theme in the background, isn't there, about performances not yielding the results that maybe they deserve. And, well, you could say this about everybody, clearly. A good Christmas can really tee things up, can't it?
It can. I mean, look, I think we've had one bad half, I would say, and probably since Reading away, I think we've been consistent with our performances. Cup and league. But we had a bad half against Stockport, which ultimately lost us the game in the second half. But previous to that, performances have been fine, they've been good. We've been unlucky in some games. We were very unfortunate to concede last minute against Cardiff when we got probably 4 or 5 things wrong in the lead up to the goal. But we can't worry about that now. That game is gone. All we can focus on is the next one. The next one's the most important, which is Plymouth, and we'll see if we can get the right result.
Go for the final game before Christmas. I know it doesn't necessarily mean anything to you, but it's a milestone in a season, isn't it? Normally, top at Christmas, bottom at Christmas, where you are at Christmas. It's kind of a yardstick, I suppose.
Yeah, it's another opportunity for us to continue the momentum. We want to get some real rhythm and consistency in our performances, because it's a good time to get that. We've got 13 games in the next 6 weeks. But yeah, it's an important game, like they all are, and it'd be nice to spend Christmas Day next week off the back of a win for sure.
Yeah, it absolutely would. And you mentioned getting a bit of a rhythm. Do you feel as if the side's almost in it now already?
Yeah, and the key thing is that we don't become complacent because we feel like we've got that. We have to work hard. Games just don't win themselves. But I have seen a real good level of consistency in our shape, in our structure, in our intensity, and ultimately in our performances.
Yeah, I think it would be the first time for about 3 seasons that we'll string 3 wins together in the league. Should we do it on Saturday? It will also, if we do it, a 3rd away win in the league in a row as well. That is good form, isn't it, when you are going into that busy period, as you say?
Absolutely, and listen, our focus is just on 3 points at Doncaster. And what we need to do to get that. But yeah, there are records in a positive way. When we maybe 4 to 6 weeks ago, there were records in a negative way. Now that's all down to the hard work of the players. They've really knuckled down, they're fighting for each other, they've stuck together, and we know we've got a lot to do. We're not where we want to be, and we will be. We'll continue to improve, but right now we've got a real good substance about our performances, and the players are working hard to get the points.
Argyle are looking much stronger, Aaron. They've got a good chance today, and also I thought one of the interesting points that Tom Cleverley spoke about then was talking about the players. They are working for each other. Like the way he spoke about them then, it was very much a collaborative. Yeah. Which I think is something, has maybe elements of that have been missing before.
Yeah.
Or sort of maybe like individual players not doing what they needed to do for the team as a whole. So do you think that kind of ethos, that mindset is now coming into play, and that has contributed to Argyle, improving their performance?
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to think so as well, because if players can get on a point where they accept that their role is for the benefit of the team, not the other way around. So therefore it means they will make sacrificial runs deliberately off the ball, or they'll work that extra harder to win the ball back if their teammate gives it away. That builds that cohesion and that team connection, and you need to grind out results. And what they've done recently in the last month is ground out a number of decent results. The football, as we all know, isn't the prettiest to watch, but at this current time, if that's winning football matches, then so be it. And that's what they need, because they're in the bottom 4. There's no getting away from that, and they now need to climb that ladder. And I'd like to think that they're going into today's game with probably an optimistic mindset of going, look, we're more than capable of winning this game now, rather than hoping they might get something. There should be a belief that they'll get at least a point. They should do. We'll have to wait and see, but they should be a lot more confident that they have a better structure going into the game.
Well, we were just looking at the league table, and it will be a bit of a leapfrog scenario if we were to win today. We said we would get out of the bottom 4. And that is at Doncaster's behest, because it means they will be below us.
Yeah, they're only separated by goal difference at the minute. I think it's 1 goal is the difference. And when you think about the 2 starts, so like Doncaster are 1 win in 13, but they won 5 of their opening 7 games. So obviously they came up last year. I think they may have won the league last year, and they came up. So they hit the ground running. They probably found League One was quite easy, like we've started well. And now since they've nosedived, they've been doing quite well in the cups.
Okay.
So they've been winning a couple of games. I think they're still in the FA Cup. I think they got Southampton there. I think they got beat by Spurs in the Carabao Cup. So they've had an attractive fixture. but they are going in the wrong direction, and you'd like to think we're going in the better direction at the minute.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good opportunity to kind of leapfrog them today in particular.
Okay, well, who do we need to keep our eyes on then in order to do that? Are you starting with Doncaster?
Yeah, we'll start with Doncaster. As we know that they've only won one of their last 6 at home in the league. So they're not flying by any stretch. They changed their system last week. They lost at Cardiff last week to a 90th minute winner, 4-3.
Right.
And I think they changed their system probably to create more attacking threats because they weren't scoring many goals. But the 2 players we picked, the first one is their captain, Owen Bailey. Now, 26-year-old midfielder. He scored 6 league goals and he's got 2 assists. He scored 9 in all competitions this year and he's got 3 assists. Now, he's a central midfielder, Erin. He's not an attacker as such. But what is his threats? He's good at set plays and he knows where to stand in those kind of tight scenarios where he can just toe poke his goals in. All of his 6 league goals have come from these types of finishes, just one touch, putting them in. So he's going to be a real danger because he likes to attack the ball late and drive in. And when I saw the goals originally at the start of the week, I was like, well, maybe he's their penalty taker, but he's not. He's actually just their midfielder, and he gets into these very tricky, what we call red zone areas, and he's a threat. So for a midfielder to be on 6 goals, 9 in all competitions already, and 3 assists, is a really excellent return. But he seems quite a direct footballer, so very industrious.
Yeah.
And obviously one to watch. He's not hit. I think he scored last weekend, so he's not scored prolifically every week. But it's obviously got to be something they've got to be mindful of, because for me they'll play a bit more of a direct style to try and get him into those dangerous areas.
Did you say last weekend they changed their system to create more goal scoring opportunities?
I would have thought so. I mean, I didn't do extensive research, but the fact that they hadn't won for a while, their previous win came a few weeks ago, I think against Peterborough, but they were playing Cardiff, so away at Cardiff. So I wonder if they try to just change, maybe to match them, to try and get more marauders.
Because 3 goals is
3 goals away from home.
Yes, they lost by 4, which is unfortunate for them last week. But to still be able to produce 3 goals in a game, that is, we would not want to see that happening.
No, absolutely, and then away from home in particular. So, Grant McCann said they've got a game plan that they think will upset Argyle today, to be a bit more direct and on the front foot and be more creative. And that leads us in nicely into their player of the year last year and their most attacking threat in Luke Molyneux. So Luke Molyneux, just to put it into context, he's got 3 goals in the league and 5 assists this season, 9 in all competitions in terms of assists and 4 goals. He is their penalty taker. I think he's their talisman when everything goes through him. He's a real threat attacking-wise. Knows where the goal is, arrives late. He's got a really great left foot. When you put into context, last season he scored 16 goals and had 13 assists in the league, which is really impressive.
Yeah, fair.
It really is. He's involved in 30 goals on his own, which is nothing to be sniffed at for sure. And great left foot. He takes all their corners. He will be their kind of talisman in that front area, and a very much a danger man because he's very good at 1v1s. Reminds me of like Amici for us a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, if we can get Amici back fit and firing, he would be of a similar ilk. But you can see the way he travels. I mean, that little step over and cut back actually for Owen Bailey there to finish goes hand in hand. So they've clearly got a good partnership.
Yeah.
So we've got to be mindful. They've got some old players as well, like Billy Sharp, who's been around the lower leagues for a long time. He's got 4 goals, I think, and Jordan Gibson's on 5 contributions. So they've got lots in the wings. It's just whether they can fire today.
Yeah. And who have you chosen for Argyle to try and put a stop to?
Well, yeah. So we know we've got Lauren Tully coming back.
Yeah.
So that's great in terms of that end, and we've been scoring goals. But a lot of our clean sheets lately have been down to the partnership of what Charlie regarded as Pleggy Mitchell. Yes.
Mitchell.
So Julio Pleguezello and Alex Mitchell. So together, we feel that they are one of the reasons why, amongst other things, but why those two seem to have blended well together. I think 3 of the last 4 starts, them as a pair, we've had 3 clean sheets, which is not a coincidence. They seem to dovetail really well. One covers the other if one goes to attack it. Mitchell, we know, is an out-and-out defender. He just likes heading and kicking the ball.
Oh, yes.
Which is a skill set in itself. And when you've got the subtleties of Pleguezello behind him and just ushering him into position, I think you get a good blend because you get a difference in their setups. And, I thought Mitchell last weekend was sensational, his best game for us by far. but Pleguezello is settled back into life in the back line really well, and hopefully, you know, they can continue that form this afternoon, because I think it's not a coincidence. I mean, that clearance there by Mitchell off the line, that was the moment of the match, second half. And if they can continue that, what you start to get is consistency in that back line. And if you start picking up more clean sheets, you start to trust that process a lot more. And between them, they've really built a nice partnership fairly quickly as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone was quite glad to see Pleggy back after the time that he's had out of the game. So it's nice to see they're working together. I have to say, last week Katie and I went out and sat in the stands to watch the first half of the game, and I distinctly remember hearing Alex Mitchell just like the football came towards it. He didn't head it. He just took it straight to the face. It was so loud. I was like, oh my God! I'm surprised his head didn't cave in, because he really does put his body on the line. And when you see it up close like that, I just think, oh my gosh, I couldn't think of anything. It's just like that. Done. Job done.
He's living his best life. That's what he loves to do.
He really does.
Head it and kick it. Get in the way of the ball.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't believe it. Okay, so that is the analysis for this afternoon's game with Aaron. Hopefully, we end up seeing some results for Argyle, so they can continue the little run that hopefully they seem to be developing. We have got just under half an hour left of Argyle Breakfast for you, and in just a moment we are going to be joined in the studio by Argyle Women's head coach Marie Hurahan. So do stay with us for that. We'll be bringing it to you in just a second.
Heartbroken for her, and just everybody did anything they could to get around her and show her we were going to support her the whole way through.
This desire, this hunger to achieve our goals, and if it's not just for themselves, it's definitely for Lulu.
When they are completely aligned with each other, what they can achieve.
Come on, 2-0 against
Come on!
Come on, the Janners! Up the Janners! Man down!
So every single week, who's going to step forward and who's going to lead? Okay, so the leaders in the middle of the pitch today. Step forward, take control of the game. An exciting game where I think it'll be a real good exhibition of what the National League, Women's National League is.
They've definitely had the upper hand. We obviously look to change that if we can.
Playing the game in a completely different mindset and yeah, going there to get a win rather than to go for a scrap.
Touch there to marker. Tynan! Yes! Well, he's at it again. Tommy Tynan.
Chance here for Hodges. Hodges gets it across, and there it is. Off the boot of Andy Thomas, his second goal of the night.
Byrne. Campbell inside. Hodges! Is it there? Yes, it is! Kevin Hodges!
Yes! McCarthy, who'd had the first chance, has caused an explosion of joy at home park.
All right, we might almost be done with Argyle Breakfast this morning, but we do have one last guest to bring you live here in the studio. Marie Hurahan took over as the head coach of Argyle Women in the summer, and I think it's fair to say, and I'm sure you'll all agree with me, she's had a stormer of a start to life at Argyle. Third in the table, and they've lost just once in the league all season, so in with a real chance for a push for promotion. They play their final game of 2025 tomorrow. That is a home game against Real Bedford, and I'm thrilled to say Marie is in the studio with us now. Thank you for being here.
No problem.
Can I just say, I know it might not be professional, your perfume is lovely.
Thank you very much.
It's
Don't you
very,
never say that to me?
No, I've not had that same kind of smell as I've come in the room. I'm sorry to say.
We have got a Christmas cracker as well. We have asking both of our live guests to, so you can do it at the beginning or you can do it at the end of the interview.
Oh, this crescendo, do it at the end.
Crescendo, that does seem to be the theme. Today. Okay, perfect. There will be a joke in there that you can read if you're.
Is it readable?
I don't know. It's a surprise. We'll find out. How has life been for you since joining the club? It seems like it's going really well.
Yes, it's been a whirlwind. It's literally the other day I was like, I've been here 6 months now.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it. It's gone really, really quick. No, as I said, it's been a lot of work to do. I think we've made some big steps forward. We've brought obviously quite a lot of new players in, kind of integrating with the players that we retained from last season. A lot of new staff have come in as well. So there's been a lot of new ideas, but as I said, I think we've managed to get some consistency pretty quickly, and now it's just a case of just trying to maintain those standards and keep us in the mix.
Yeah, Aaron and I were chatting off air about the player turnover in the summer. I mean, quite similar to the men's team as well. That turnover that we've been experiencing. Like, how is that coming in? Is it easier if you're coming in fresh and you've got a fresh team of players versus coming in when you've got something established? How, as a head coach, how is that?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously kind of the message coming in was that it was kind of a little bit of a new era now. So I think even the pre-existing players were like, okay, this is a new start for us as well. So that's been quite easy then to kind of align everything. And it's just been, as I said, just really integrating how we work quickly. And as I said, it was a new brand of football that we wanted to implement, and thankfully we had a full pre-season to do that, and that's been massive for me, that we've had that time to spend together on the training pitch but also off the pitch to kind of develop those relationships. And as I said, you know, I knew some of the players before coming in, whether obviously I'd worked with them before or played against them, so I knew a little bit about them, so kind of building those relationships was a little bit easier, but also knowing them as players in terms of what their strengths are and to get the best out of them. So I think that really helped, and as I said, now it's just a case of just trying to maintain it.
And the Southwest as well in particular, I don't know what your experiences were of, you know, whether you'd had that much interaction with the Southwest, because Plymouth is quite far removed, especially when it comes to football, from pretty much everything. What was it that drew you down here, and how have you found kind of managing that whole situation of maybe being in an area that's not necessarily known for having a vast amount of footballing opportunity?
Yeah, I think coming down, again, I remember it was Maybank holiday when I came down to see it.
Good time of the year to come.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
So I've driven down from Stoke and I was like, oh, okay, it's probably about 3.5, 4 hours. And then, you know, I quickly realised once you get onto the A38, you're like, God, there's still a bit to go.
You get to Exeter and everyone's like, oh, we still got to go another 40 minutes.
Yeah, but like as soon as I got into the actual city, obviously not just from a football perspective and coming here and seeing everything in terms of the plans, but I think the actual city, and I say this a lot, that there's a lot more to Plymouth than people realise. You know, obviously you just think, oh, it's by the sea, but you know, you've got Dartmoor, you've got the city centre, you've got the Barbican, you've got, like you said, some, you know, Cornwall's around the corner, so you've got some really nice places to go. And as I said, when players bringing them down, I was like, it's not going to be a problem once they get down here and they see it, and then I think their perception changed. So that was probably, I was conscious of that coming down, but I knew I literally just had to get the players here, and once they saw it, my job was pretty simple then.
Yeah, because you had a few players come with you from Stoke, didn't you? So what was the sell like to them almost from?
I think just obviously our experience at Stoke. Look, we had a fantastic season last year, but we knew that the club weren't going to push it, you know, to give us that extra bit to get promoted and what we needed. So for me, it was kind of, the message to them was, you know, trust me. Like, it is about rebuilding a team on the pitch, but off the pitch, everything is here to support us. And also the real drive and passion from, you know, the senior management of the club to do it, which is really important to me. So I think there was an element of trust of being like, look, you know me, you know that I'm not going to make this move, you know, for nothing. So, you know, there was a little bit of faith there, but I'd like to think now they've come down that, you know, they're like, yeah, she was right in what she said.
If you take stock now of where you are at this juncture, are you, where, in terms of your intention, your objective. Where are you in terms of that recap? Are you at where you would like to be at the minute in terms of third in the league, 1 defeat all season?
I mean, personally, for me, I think I saw a real opportunity this year in the league because there's no full-time team in this league, and obviously now we had the added benefit of the playoff spot in second place, where normally it's only one team that goes up, so it's really difficult. So I did see massive opportunity this year. From the club's perspective, they were very much, look, we want to be competitive, you know, we want to stabilise the team this year, and probably I was a little bit bullish in coming in being like, we can do more this year. Obviously we're sat third and we're still in contention. So for me, it's now, you know, we're at the halfway point, so it's like, why not? Like, we need to maintain the standards that we've obviously set ourselves at the start of the season, but I think the belief now from the players, you know, they're sitting here going, we're at Christmas and, you know, we're 2 points off being in that top 2, so why not? So as I said, I think probably it's probably come a little bit earlier than what people thought, but I think the position that we're now in it's just really galvanised everybody and going, yeah, you know, let's do this.
We'll touch on the FA Cup result from last week, because I imagine that's probably the only real negative of this season so far. Do you think the players, having had that experience, are now feeling like a bit hungrier in terms of what you want to achieve in the league?
Yeah, look, don't get me wrong, to lose that way is always gutting, and I think, you know, the players, you could see that in their reactions at the end of the game, and, you know, it was very disappointing because, as I said, you know, a lot of it was out of our hands and we couldn't control. But for me, that's football. Sometimes you've got to take it on the chin. But the biggest thing is a response. And I said that, like, we've got a lot to look ahead to, but it's coming thick and fast and we have to react. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We can't dwell on it. We've got a massive game this weekend where, you know, we need to hit that ground running again. So for me, sometimes it doesn't do any harm to have that little bit of a reality check as well, that, you know, it's not all plain sailing, that you're going to have bumps in the road, but it is about the reaction. So in training this week, it's been good. And again, the consistent messages that we're delivering is that, you know, we've worked so hard to put us in this position now, don't let that slip.
Yeah. I mean, nobody ever wants to lose, of course, but I suppose, you know, and Aaron, you might have something to say on this again, like when we were talking about performance culture and things like that, you have to galvanise from those experiences and use them to push you forwards in a way, so that they don't keep repeating, because then you end up in a completely different scenario, probably similar to what the men's team has had to go through at the beginning of the season. So yeah, is your mindset when it comes to, like you said, having that defeat, it just seems quite a simple way of looking at it. It is football, it is a game, move on. What are the positives that you can take from that so that it doesn't happen again?
Yeah, 100%. As I said, the circumstance of going down to 10 players literally at the start of the second half, so you're having to do, you know, 45, 50 minutes, I think it was in the end, with 10 players, that was a new situation for us.
Yeah.
So again, it's a new experience. You know, we adjusted how we played, we had to, in that circumstance. So as you said, that experience is probably valuable because, you know, football at some point that might rear its head again.
Yeah.
And we can kind of, you know, use that as a, you know, a bit of evidence and opportunity of, right, well, last time we did this, we know now we need to manage that better in terms of, you know, we ended up being so deep and we couldn't get out. So that's a situation now where we don't want to fall into that same trap again. So as I said, I think that experience will be beneficial. You know, defending a lead is always a challenge in terms of the mindset, because you've got players kind of being a bit more reserved, you've got others going, well, look, it's only 1-0, let's go for it. So again, these are all good experiences, I think, for the players to have, and just makes them better rounded players as well.
Tomorrow's game at Home Park, we keep calling it like the final game of 2025. Does that make any like difference? Do you look at the season in sections, or are you just like, okay, we've got this one and then on to the next one? Or are you know, when people like me say it's the final game of 2025, does that have much of a bearing on your overall?
I think, obviously, because of where we are, yes. I think also because Bedford will be the last team that we play, the last game of the season. So in terms of an actual, it's kind of like, right, after this game, the second half of the season starts, if you like, with the fixtures. So And also it gives us an opportunity to kind of, right, we can benchmark. We've got the first half of the season now. We can start looking at trends. We can start looking at sort of processing those games to give us more informed information going into the second games against teams. So from a coach perspective, I would say yes. Probably from a player's perspective, it's a bit like, God, I can't wait for these 5 days off because I know what they're like. But for me, certainly, we use that as like I said, a bit of a reference point.
And how crucial is it for you, like having the games not only like at home, but I mean we've seen a lot of the games this season at Home Park as well, and like having that big stadium experience as well. Does that make a difference to yourself and to the players when you get the chance to come out and do it here at Home Park?
100%. As I said, when I came in, this was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to come here. The surface in itself allows us to play how we want to play, because we go to a lot of venues. We're either playing on like AstroTurf pitches, or, no disrespect to some of the teams, questionable grass pitches, so having this consistent surface here allows us to really, enforce how we want to play on teams. And a big thing for me coming here was, I experienced it coming here, being the head coach of Stoke, was making us comfortable playing at Home Park. Because I think that was a big thing, that it was a little bit like teams loved coming here, because obviously everyone loves playing in a stadium like this. But I wanted teams coming here fearing because of how we played. And I think being based here in the training week has helped massively, so players feel comfortable. They don't come in feeling like, oh God, looking around going, there's big crowds, it's, and it weighs heavy on them. I think it's the opposite. They're really like, we're always like, oh God, thank God we're home this weekend.
Okay, brilliant.
And not just from a travel perspective, but because they love playing on that pitch with the supporters. They love the whole experience on the match day. So that has been a massive advantage to us. And, I think we've got a pretty good record here, and, we want to try and keep going with that.
Yeah, and I think it goes again more towards this, the drive that women's football has had as well in recent years, in the successes of various other teams internationally and otherwise, to say, well, we've got the pitch here, why don't you play on it? Why does it have to be happening maybe, like you said, at a pitch that's of a not so good quality? Because if you want to have that success for the women's team, then you want to be able to put things in place to enable that success to happen.
Yeah, and as I said, I think for me, and I've said this coming in, we want to build a fan base. To do that, you need to play an exciting brand of football. So as I said, this supports that, but also, it was a big task for me is kind of getting people to be a bit more open-minded to come and watch a game. And I think they come and they see how we play, and it's like, I didn't expect that. So that, as I said, it really supports what we're trying to do. And I say this all the time, I'm like, I think just come and watch a game, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the level, the technical capability, but also the tactical way that we play and approach games, and also the standard of other teams that we're playing. So they are good games of football. And as I said, it being at Home Park just supports that, because fans then also their match day experience, they're coming down, they're not, stood around a metal bar around the pitch getting absolutely soaked, so it does help as well.
I mean, because you've worked with some of the players as well, haven't you, Aaron, and spoken about like the technical ability and we've spoken about how the two games are completely different, and about how, like you're saying, if you come and actually see a women's game here at Home Park, I think a lot of people have said they have been pleasantly surprised because of...
Yeah, very much so. And we've spoken previously about we have to get away from this contrast of when they compare it, men versus the women's. It's a different game, even though they're trying to play in the same way. There are different facets to it, and the way it's approached. I really enjoy watching the women games, because technically they're very capable. They work the ball well. I've seen some of the games already this season. It's a real, like you said, an attractive brand of football. And it's credit to you and the work that John and Matt do as well, and all the support staff and the players that you've recruited. My final question was just going to be on like personality of players. Does that reign big with you about they need to fit as a person within the profile of the squad that you're trying to create?
Yeah, massively. Look, in my experience, and this is through my playing career, culture's king. And if you've got a players with a personality that's that's not conducive for that culture, it only takes one to ruin it. So it is really important. And also for me, the mentality, because I'm a big one. Like, we've got a lot of younger players who, you know, I'm part of my job is also kind of educating them and moulding them in terms of what being a professional looks like. So for me, very much so that football is a priority, is important for them, but also understanding that, you know, there's a certain expectation upon them at being a Plymouth player and how to behave and also live their life, because, as I said, we're trying to transition to make the team more professional. And also, you know, if we are to get promoted, then that's the level that we've got to step up to. So for me, it's massive. And also in terms of, you know, developing those leaders as well, because, you know, the art of communication, we know as a generation, is something that is very different, certainly to when I grew up. So, you know, having players that, you know, that really embrace that, but also grow into it, is really important for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to take a break to do Get the Badge In, which, again, I keep having to preface this with every guest we have. I am not going to spring this on you to play, because I'm like, we've got a game now, and everyone goes, whoa. But before we do that, just to remind everyone that the game tomorrow is a 2 p.m. kickoff. Last chance to watch football at Home Park before Christmas, so don't miss that. And if you can't get to the game, you can catch it on Argyle TV, because the coverage starts just before kickoff. We'll take a break to do Get the Badge In now, and then we'll chat a little bit more with Marie as well. So, rules are very simple in this one, if you don't know them already. 1 minute to name as many clubs as you can from the cropped version of their badges, Premier League all the way down to League Two. This week it is Julio Pleguezuelo, so let's see how he got on.
Hello, I'm Pleggy, and this is Get the Badge In.
Right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Got a minute. 3, 2, 1, go.
Plymouth, Doncaster, Salford. Is that Stevenage? I'm not sure. Burton, Northampton, Norwich, QPR, Bournemouth, Bristol City. Oh, I don't know that one. Is that Plymouth again? No, can't be. Bradford. No idea. No clue. Oh my God, what's going on here? I don't know. Oh, I know that one. No, I don't. Sunderland. Nope, pass. Wimbledon. Rotherham. Burnley. Mansfield.
Right, that's your minute up.
Walsall.
Walsall. On the cusp.
Oh my God.
That's the same as Matty Sorinola last week.
Okay. He was devastated with some of them, wasn't he? His look as well.
Not as devastated as I am. The fact that I still got less than that.
I'm still clinging on to the top page. Just.
You're still there. Yeah, Zach Baker remains
35. 35 was and Mitchell and Alex. They were honestly.
It's insane. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. These should be joined with a lot of more people now, though.
Oh yeah, Katie as well's on 13 too. Yeah, Joe Hatch is the only saving grace for me. It was awful. I really thought I'd done well. Clearly not. This is the case. I'm still requesting a rerun, but whether that will happen, I doubt. Yeah, no, Sam's saying in my ear, brilliant, thanks very much. Well, yeah, we go 13 for Pleggy, so I mean...
Marie will have to have a go at some point.
I think you'd be,
yeah, I think she'd be
right.
good,
Yeah, certainly.
35, that's some going.
Yeah, 35 was impressive.
It was almost like you went into a trance. Yeah. Something strange came over him. Right, we've got about 5 minutes before the end of the show. We'll obviously do the cracker joke right at the very end, but before we do that, much more importantly, I did just want to touch on the coaching element of your career prior to coming to Argyle, because you know, you've played for some big teams, you've been part of some really big WSL moments as well, and I know previously on another interview you spoke about like Emma Hayes as an example of someone that you've had experiences with. Seeing seeing other peers in the sport be successful and going like that, did you always know that this was an area that you wanted to pursue after your footballing career?
I think naturally, obviously, because I was a goalkeeper, everyone just presumed I'd go into goalkeeping coaching.
Right.
To being brutally honest, like I knew I wanted to stay in the game. I didn't know in what capacity or what role. So I think going into the head coach role I kind of fell into, if I'm being honest, and was kind of a bit like, because originally I was supposed to go into an assistant role. The manager left and the club went, can you take over? And I was like, well, let's give it a go. What's the worst that can happen type thing. Really enjoyed it, but also felt as a player I was very analytical anyway. So in terms of seeing the game, so I think that's something that served me quite well. Obviously I didn't have, you know, the coaching experience on the grass, so to speak. So that was why going to Stoke was a big thing for me, because I got to coach in the boys' academy to really kind of like, you know, expand my coach experience and also coach different age groups. I think it's so important to have not just coach senior football, being able to, like you said, communicate and deliver in different ways. But yeah, in a nutshell, I knew I was going to stay in the game, but I think most probably thought I would have been a goalkeeping coach. So I think they're quite surprised now that I'm in a head coach role.
I imagine being a goalkeeper wouldn't necessarily put you in bad stead to be an overall head coach, because like you said, the position you're in, you can watch a lot of the game while you're playing, if it's going well. And also, you know, goalkeepers do have to be quite assertive, and you know, you have to tell the players where you want to be in certain areas. So it probably does lend itself quite nicely to going beyond goalkeeping coaching. Yeah,
definitely. I think, like, obviously you need to know everybody's roles. And as I said, as a player, I was very kind of interested in like the tactical side of the game. So like analysis was a big thing for me. Like I was very much, you know, I wanted everything. So I think that certainly served me well. And obviously being exposed to, you know, the different coaches, not just obviously in England, I played abroad and also at international football. Like having all of those experiences, I think kind of opened me up in terms of the coach that I wanted to be. And I always say this, that only happens over time. People, you know, if I ask a coach early on in their career, you know, what is your philosophy? If they say, yeah, I know it, I'm like, you're lying. There's no way. There's no way. Like you have to, you've got to experience first. I think, you know, obviously when you start off, you take a lot from other people, but you kind of need to get to know yourself. And also, you know, in terms of as a coach, like what values really align with you as well in terms of how you lead a team. So I think, as I said, I'm now in my 4th year. I feel more comfortable now in myself, in knowing myself as a coach. So then I'm able to go and, you know, certainly lead a team in a way that I see that it needs to be led. Yeah,
well, we saw from some of the girls on their gingerbread making session earlier that they spoke of you in really high regard. So it's obviously paying off, as is testament to where we are in the league as well. Thank you for coming in to the studio. Aaron, do you want to do the honours?
Oh yeah,
quickly?
we've got to do the cracker, haven't we?
We've got about 90 seconds, no pressure.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
You're going to let me win, yeah?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. There you are. You've got to read the joke though.
Yeah, go on. What's the joke?
Good work.
Oh, I think it's the tiny piece of paper. That might be a puzzle that you can take home with you afterwards. Don't say we don't treat you.
Okay. What do elves learn at school?
The alphabet.
Bang on.
Oh, Aaron.
Yeah.
You could have.
Sorry.
You could have let the whole thing play out.
Do you have to ask the question as well?
No.
No.
Sorry. We won't know the answer.
Oh, ruined it. Tell
us
I've heard that this week.
Thank you so much for coming in this morning. It's been brilliant to have you. Aaron, thank you as always. I'm being told we've got to wrap up. Yes. It's Charlie Price and Brian McGlinchey with you this afternoon for our away game against Doncaster. Do stay tuned. Matchday Live will be with you later on. Thank you for watching.